Welcome back everyone. Day 13 of the Firefly Forest Book Nook build. Right. Our little cliffside, mountainside over here didn't turn out too bad. The textures and everything sort of worked out. In hindsight, if I'd realized what I was doing with it, I would have used the lines provided to set my angles when I glued it together. It didn't even occur to me that they weren't going to be square when it's all said and done. I thought it'd be automatic. I didn't think about having this one being the off angle and that one being the true angle, or you know what I'm saying. But that's sort of something that struck me last night after I finished up. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just trying to have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems here, we're just building silly little models and having some fun. If you see any kits or builds or sets that you'd like me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list. And as I always say, I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best options. Now, that being said, get this section out of the way because we are not building on it tonight. This side, however, we're going to do a lot of little additions. Should be interesting to say the least. So, looks like, I think, all we're going to do tonight is most of these pieces. If I can get them to work the way they have. And I see, try me a little more illumination on the subject. A little bit more than that. Okay. And see if I can figure out their sort of directions, where they're going with them, what they're doing with them. Because it is a little bit confusing, to say the least. Okay, so first bits are going to need that little stone seat, this house, and this little nook here. These guys come next. And I think, yeah, this is definitely going to be a phone case day. I always call it a case, phone stand day. So let's see, set these guys off to the side. Bring this into an angle where y'all can see and I can see too. Hopefully. Okay, now what we're supposed to, looks like where that shelf is. See, I'm not having a lot of confidence with how this is going to work out. It's supposed to go somewhere like that, but it looks like it's supposed to be in front of our... It doesn't tell us where we're putting our lights, is the big issue I'm having with this one. That one is just, like I said, this one here was just barely making it out. I'm assuming they go behind our doors in our houses. Well, this one, now we can see this one, it looks like we're just to push it back some. And then it's got writing over it the next time. But this one totally disappears from all mention. Unless it ended up in a totally different place on their picture. So, but, okay. Now I see it. See, nothing. It's 7 out of 10 on their print quality. Oh, I guess I can come in a little tighter too. That's all. Let's say this is supposed to go like here in this area. This little door on top of it, which will be like sort of like that somehow. This. Something along those lines. And this guy just goes here on the side of the mountain. Our little nook is supposed to be down here at the bottom. But I don't think I've got enough of a roll here to... It's supposed to be... like so. So I think it's supposed to be flush with the bottom. So on this one, I'm going to wait till we actually put it in to glue it in place, if I remember. And once we get the floor in place, I'm going to glue it to the floor in front of the mountain. So I think that's going to be the safe play on that one. And these two don't... No. This one's not convincing. This one actually doesn't look too bad in the real angle. It looks like it is sort of tucked behind underneath a little cliff there. And this, so maybe something like that. Maybe that'll sort of hold the mountain texture in place as we get them in going. I'm sort of, it's you're sort of flying blind here. It's not. The instructions are definitely not clear. But I guess that's part of the fun of these. You do get to do your own thing a lot. So I think for that sort of wonky, uneven angle, I'm definitely going to go with the old hot glue gun on this one. Sort of a hopefully fairly generous bead, so it can sort of hopefully fill in some nooks and crannies. Just spray and pray, I guess. In there. It's sort of settling. I think it's going to be secured anyway. And sort of the same on this one. There's such a odd, let's say just uneven surface. I just want to make sure I can get something that it'll grab onto. So those two sides, just chunk you in here. Strings out of the way. Seems to be reasonably stable. You. Sort of crooked lady that lived in a crooked house, maybe. Okay. And then the only other part on this picture is this guy, which I think that's going to be the plan. Now, over to our little hobbit hole door. Lines go up and down. Do a doorknob. Actually, that's the wrong wire. I couldn't find my black wire the first night, so that's the one I pulled off from the old set. So I need two lengths, sort of same. So I'm going to do one there and one sort of at an angle up. So I'll get my cutters. I have actually ordered some new cutters. I found them on, where'd I find them on? Amazon haul. Well, they got that thing now where if you buy $25 you get free shipping, and it's sort of like Temu quality stuff. So it's even less brand name than the normal Amazon stuff, but it's cheap. Let's see, we'll try even line with the old B7000 glue. Right now, that's my personal favorite. I haven't really tried a different one to change my favorites. It's got that going for it. Now, let's get you, position you where you go side to side. Yeah, that works. Next piece is fairly straightened out here. Supposed to go like there to there. So alright, so that should, one end got in the glue, obviously. Okay, now this one, I don't believe I can do an even line, because I'd lose my track of it, but if I can get my cap off my glue. Dab on either end. It should be ample to hold this on. Position you. And of course you're sticking to the tweezers. About like that's the way. Maybe a little bit less of an angle, but that's the length of the wire I cut. So that's what I'm going to go with. Glue right there for our doorknob. Probably going to stick to this no matter how much I clean it up. Yep, called it. Okay. Now, oops, no, there it is. I do need. That is going on too. Okay. So I'm going to let that glue sort of get set. Gotta go back and do some, hopefully decorating here. Can I get, it's supposed to be like a little ridge there. When I do that, I definitely pull my light away from the, no, it's still sort of there. Barely peeking out. It's gonna be, it's supposed to be like a little kick out there, I think. Light still. Okay. And on that, let's do the mushroom first. I've been looking forward to using those since I saw them. Okay, so generous glob on there. I'm not gonna focus on it, but take my word, that's a generous glob. Go right next to this door, this step, this porch, whatever it is. And then, part I'm really not looking forward to, are individual leaves. Supposed to make what appears to be sort of a spray of right in this zone. I'm not sure how to do that, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to start with trying to give them a little bend, maybe. Give them a little crease down the middle of the plant, so give them a little more volume. So give them a curl. Yeah. And also, maybe it'll make them easier to pick up too. Get a hold of it. I think I hear that fly from last night again. I have to stop to get rid of it. I'm gonna start buzzing around me. I'll allow it in the room, but it's not gonna be buzzing around me like it was. Okay, I gotta stop to kill it. Be right back. Okay. It must have heard me talking because it disappeared. It literally landed on my shoulder. I said, nah, you can't stay in here and do all that for another 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, got our leaves curled-ish. Now I just got to figure out how and where. Let's see, it says these guys will sort of come out from behind our little house here. Maybe I should be... Maybe a little glue underneath there to force that into more of a lead shape. See, I'm winging it as we go now, so I might as well give it a shot. Put the mat down and get out. Oh. Yeah, that light's still just barely peeking out there, so it can't. Something like that. And I don't think it did any good. Got a crease there that it wants to maintain. Okay, it was worth a shot. I don't need this yet. But our yellow guys sort of come in from behind the house, sticking out there. It says to cut, fold and cut, but I think actually I may just give them a nice little twist. Put some glue on there and just pop them like that. That's what the picture sort of resembles. So that's what I'm going to go with. I go with hot glue. It's ready to roll. I need some more glue up here too then. It can come upwards. A little separation in them there, okay. That suits me. Because I think now all our leaves are supposed to sort of get stuck in down there. So I'll just, I think I'll go back to the B7000 for that bit, starting off anyway. I may break down and use the regular glue, or the hot glue rather. We'll start here and see how it goes. So, on the outside of our curve, just stick to my tweezers. So I guess that's a sign to do it by hand. Which I'd consider a bad sign. Make sure our yellow guys still show. Okay, let's see. Maybe these tweezers are clean. I don't know. I sand those things down, but they still stick to everything. So that one seems to cooperate a little bit. Okay, spoke too soon there. They've stopped cooperating. I'm going to move that one down. And one last one. I'll say just see what happens when we put it somewhere. That's not where I want to put it. Okay. Our yellow guys are still showing. Got plants. They do a better job of making it, but they got a better ledge too. Then I'm supposed to put some rocks around the base of those things. So get my rocks into a bowl here and find some good ones. Sorry if that hurt your ears. And go back to my sticky tweezers because I know I'm going to get these in glue again. Okay, so you there. A couple of little ones. There's enough glue left on there for that one. I hear it again. I'm generally fairly benevolent as far as insects go. They'll live and let live. But once they start bothering me, they gots to go. Maybe it's outside the door. Nope, there it is. I think I'm going to stop again, but I'll keep going until it actively bugs me, rather than passively. Okay. Now I think this guy should be dry enough to mount in its little hole back here. A little bit. Okay, let me stop for a second again. It escaped again. Okay, but back to where we were putting our door, in our little door frame here. Once again, they've sort of got it cracked open a little bit, so I don't think I'm going to be that accurate. I just little drop down the bottom. And we'll see what happens. Okay. I think I'm going to go full closed on it. Well, actually, I was. Rain just moved in. Evidently pretty severe based on the sound. Okay, I'm going to go full closed on it. It's sort of popping up a little on this side, but I don't think that'll be noticeable from viewing it from that angle. Then, just need to stand you up a little bit more because we're going to start working on the upper level a bit. Wires thrown. Okay. Now this plant. Decided to go rogue on me. This plant goes right next to the door, about right there, based on the picture I'm seeing. So, got gravity helping us this time. So I am gonna go with the B7000 on it. Just yet another generous dollop. Just use our purple plant right into the astroturf. Try and straighten you out a bit, maybe, or knock you over. Okay. It's going to settle where it's going to settle, it looks like. I wanted to look outside and see what it looked like, but it's already dark out. Okay. Now where put our... Oh. Put it in the wrong bucket. Our little shrubs from last night. Supposed to go underneath our window, each window here, so I think this porous stuff calls for hot glue. Hopefully I won't melt it. Here. Here. And you. Here. Alright. That worked relatively well, so I'm glad for that. String out of there, maybe. Okay. Ooh. And something I didn't think of ahead of war. Supposed to take another top off this guy and make another plant to the side. I just missed it. It goes over there on that edge. I'll get that bottom nice and flush, or flush-ish. And I feel more confident with the hot glue than I do the B7000 after the potted plant there, so let's just ease you in right there. It is a gully washer coming down, it sounds like. Okay. Now the part I'm sort of not looking forward to. We're supposed to make some wrought iron fences here for our little shrubberies. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm probably just gonna put down some, ooh, you know what? This wire, this is a bit thicker wire. So I'm gonna make this like a border rather than a fence, just since I've got it laying around. Sort of figure out how long to cut it, and just sort of gonna ease you around there and there. So like right there, I think. It should be the same for both of them. Now, make me a little curve here. You can't see that. There it is. Okay, that's about as good as that. That's better than I thought it would. Just, yeah, excellent. As comfortably. Yeah, I need to bring that one in tighter there. Actually, this side is tighter. Let's flip it over. Yeah. that suits me. When I saw the, I'll say, show you what, that's what we're supposed to build with all the little risers, and I do not have the patience nor fine motor control to do that. So let's just run a bead around here. Hopefully the bead will go into the AstroTurf. A little thicker maybe. Thick, because it does soak up pretty quickly. Okay. Yeah, I think that's acceptable compromise. Now, we're supposed to put some pink, make some flowers with our little pink fuzz. A few drops. At least 7,000. Laying here maybe. Let's see if we can't connect. Looks like I'm having 3 flowers. That suits me. But I live on top of the hill. Alright. I think that's gonna be good for me. I like the cut of that jib, as it were. And what else am I doing here? Yeah, we're also supposed to make a ladder down here, but I don't think a ladder, it's there, like I said, theirs has more of a rise to it, where this is sort of a, I think I got a good path here going up to this little yellow door underneath that yellow door. But okay, let me, I'm saying to do the thing again where you fold them over, but I don't really see the advantage to folding these, because even if it soaks in, it's still just gray, so they're not gonna hide anything. So I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna try this single layer and see how it goes on the little bitty stepping stones. Been doing a little better with the knife the last couple of days, so. Luck. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Better than I thought it would, as a matter of fact. The watch is buzzing at me, so I'm assuming they're warning me about the storm. Probably flash flood warning. Alright, cool. We're supposed to have 2 of our little stepping stones for this one. Let's see if that's... Yep, severe thunderstorm warning, not flash flood, but... all in the same family. Okay, now... these guys... This goes go right in front of our door here, so generous dollop, because they are soaking in really fast into that, you know, what I keep calling the AstroTurf. Get my clean tweezers maybe. Can't go in there. Alright. Okay. Stepping stones installed. Let's see, what else? Anything else in this? Oh, our signs. I forgot about that. They're going to be down here randomly on the bottom. Like I say, that's once again where they've got a much more vertical cliff where I'm sort of stuck in the horizontal. But figure out some way to make it work. There's only 4 of them. Yep, okay. So maybe like 2 here. 1 here. And 1 there. Okay, that is fairly randomly put in, it looks like to me. And I think outside of our little nook there, that completes page 14. Let me take a peek at 15, see what we got. Okay, getting to make another vine. It's going to go around here. Wait a second. Okay. I thought I'd missed my branch installation because I'm still bragging about this. I still think that turned out extremely well for as far as one of my mini plants. I don't think I've ever had a mini plant I've been this proud of. But that'll get installed tomorrow, I think. I'm sort of taking a sort of vague look at the next page to see how much trouble we're into. I do see, yeah, I do want to let all that glue dry on those pieces before I really start swinging it around. So I'm gonna pull this piece out. Well, I'm actually gonna leave that piece on there. Move it out of the way, and I'm gonna go back to our other piece. I think I can install the last light, and that'll be a good finish up for today. It's supposed to go in through the bottom there. Right, it's going to end up right in front of our mirror, it looks like. So let's see if I can find that with my probe here. I don't know. I would rather go through this side than that side. Further back though. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, I guess I'm going to go from the other side. Okay, yeah, it's way back there. It was further back than I thought it was. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, I'm pretty sure y'all heard that thunder. But this is our light. It's one of the thicker, more hardy LEDs. So looks like we're going it in from the top. I'll do my little anchoring it with hot glue deal. Okay, so I'll move through there and just like go down a little bit further than that. I'll squeeze those contacts, maybe. Those contacts do not want to be squoze. Pliers out and try again. Just a little more. Okay. Major adjustments to it, just enough to. There it goes, just get it secured. There. It's pretty stable. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure it's stable with the hot glue. Just actually wiggle there. And more. No. Can't I've tied myself up in hot glue gun. Cable. Okay, wire. Okay. I'll just push it up. No, that'll be alright. Okay, so we got our light there, and its cape wires are secure underneath. Okay, I think between that and all the brakes trying to find that fly to kill it, I'm gonna call that a night. I think that's a good, actually feels like a little more progress. Better than get to do more than just one piece. So that's, last night I was amazed how long that one piece took, but I guess between my lack of understanding and their lack of instructions, it was sort of destined to be a rough build night. But I think, you know, it's coming together. Let me take a quick peek what's coming up after all this. Yeah. Okay, it looks like, I don't know if we'll get to, we might get to actually put the sides together tomorrow. Maybe, if we're lucky. And we'll have us the actual interior of the Nook completed with some luck, and then probably the next day we'll actually assemble and put on. That's still 5 pages left. What's there to do? Oh, the roof. Yeah, the roof looks like roof's gonna be a challenge. I bet the roof's gonna be a one-day situation too. We've got a couple of arcs on it, and you can actually bend a clear acrylic sheet over the top of it to make a dome type of situation. But that's where we're going to call it for tonight. I think, I'm pretty pleased with the compromise here on our border. And if my shape had turned out like their shape, I'm sure this would have been an easier figure out. But I think it doesn't look too bad. It's not perfect, but my stuff very rarely is perfect. I just sort of like good enough, especially on these complicated ones. Alright, but that's enough for tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share, do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel up there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel where I do experiments a couple times a month. Got something more cooking up for Saturday. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and that is the playlist for this whole build. See you tomorrow.